So all this firewood that the volunteers made was at the Bear Paw Scout Camp in northern Wisconsin. And we've been doing this for a few years now. And every year we get more and more efficient, make more and more wood. And this year was no exception. We did a really good job, made a lot of wood. I don't remember how much it was. It seems to me that it was somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 15, 20 full cords. I don't know, it was a bunch. All I know, it was 2 days of making wood, and we're gonna get a little tour today of the sugar shack, which is where they make the maple syrup, which is what the firewood is for, and all of this is for fundraisers for the Scouts. It goes towards programs and educational stuff for the Boy Scouts. So pretty cool, and you're gonna get to see a little tour of the sugar shack to see how and where the sugar, maple syrup and sugar and taffy is made. But yeah, very cool operation. They do RO, and they got a pan that's 3 foot by 12 foot. And you're going to get an explanation of how the process works and how this building came to be. They had an old little bitty shack, literally it was a shack, and then this turned into quite the enterprise, and now it's used for education and other things for the Boy Scouts, all the STEM programs. So very cool. Check it out. It was interesting. Here you go.
Comes in at about 40, it's outside temperature that it comes in at. We go through the preheat because that's all just waste steam going up the hood. It'll get up to 120, 130 degrees. So we pull all that heat out because the faster we get to a boil in the tank, the more efficient it is. So it goes in there 120, 130 degrees. Before the reverse osmosis system, we flowed at about 2.53 gallons a minute. With the RO unit, we're seeing 4.5 gallons a minute roughly. It makes the whole process faster. We actually had to this year adjust the back pan. It used to have a 3/4 inch pipe to connect to the front. We're now running a 2-inch square tubing connection into the tri-clamp stuff on the front. So we had to upgrade that to handle the flow. When you're walking around, if you look up inside of here, you can see that there's channels in that back pan, and basically it's folded sheet metal. The whole reason for that is surface area. We want to get that heat transfer from the fire into the sap. So the more surface area, the faster that all happens, versus if you just had a flat pot like you have at home. The other thing you'll see is there's some jets in the back. There's actually some jets along the edges at the top, and then there's holes in the bottom. We do air under fire and air over fire. It's high pressure air over the fire and just volume air under the fire. It essentially is like a gas reburning fireplace in your home or the boilers outside that do all that.
Do you have to have additional venting to get fresh air in because you're sucking so much
So when we're running, we have at least 2 windows open. That door will be open. We have the cupola open. And there's actually, the air under fire is actually fed from a blower outside in a doghouse. So that comes in on an 8-inch or 6-inch pipe? 8-inch pipe. So that's a large dust collector blower is what's running that. 1,800 degrees is where it's running at. There's a bunch of samples up here of when we end up with a bunch of sand on our firewood because we're dumping it in the dirt and then putting it in totes. You can see that looks like a little piece of jade from the minerals basically melting into glass in the firebox. Last year we were going through 5 to 7 IBC totes per day that we ran. This year it was about 4 that we were running, 4 to 5. But in the end, with that amount of air moving through and a lot of the ash is going up the chimney, we may fill this twice a year with ash when we clean it out. We have to clean it out every day. We have to rake the flues to get any of the soot and ash off of there so that it's more efficient for heat transfer.
He was talking every 15 minutes we're firing.
Yeah.
This is the wood rack. We usually fill this up flat, and every 15 minutes this is all the wood we're throwing in there.
So you're bringing a tote right through the doors?
Yep, we got a ramp and bring the tote right through the doors on a pallet jack, and
We'll have a dozen totes in here.
Dozen?
so
Do you bring them in to warm them up?
we'll bring them in at the end of the weekend for the next weekend, and then we'll pull them out so that we have room to work. Because yeah, we can fit about 9 totes in here total, and comfortably move.
Is that to make sure they stay dry and just warmer? And
Yeah, with the lids on them. The downfall is then you might get critters coming in the racks of wood. So we try to play it by ear and keep it dry. If it's going to snow, it sucks because you don't want to bring a foot of snow in on top of the totes and all that stuff. So
When we were envisioning this pit, our old sugar shack, and it was a shack, it wasn't much bigger than this bottom section right here. the building, the whole building. And when we're sitting up there, Eric was trying to figure out what we should do, and I go, first of all, when you design a building, don't design it for a certain size, design it for purpose. And this was one of the biggest purposes. So we did not have to, that thing sat on the floor, so we didn't have to get on our knees and feet.
Again, because when you open that door, it's 1,500, 1,800 degrees of radiant heat. Standing in that doorway, you can feel it on your face. Just radiating out of there.
Firing it, typically welding jacket.
Full face shield. Even with the full face shield, I will peel sometimes on my neck the next day. So, something about being a ginger. So, you know, I said a 40-to-1 earlier for the sap to syrup concentration. Good visual. 5-gallon pail and these cute little dainty pails mathematically is syrup to sap. So, it's an easy way to visualize kind of what you get out of it. And on a good week, a tree will put 10 gallons of sap out. Typically, it's closer to 5. So we used to do our pails midweek because we had some volunteers that would come up and help empty them. But because it's so labor intensive, we do them on weekends when the kids are here. They flow over. It is what it is. So.
The cool part about that is when you see kids walking through the woods.
Oh, they love it.
And all of a sudden they find a pail that's overflowing, and 2 kids trying to figure out how to carry that pail without spilling it.
They love emptying buckets. I have never understood it. I still don't understand it, but they do. Yeah, true. If you want to pop up on top and look in the front pan, you can see that there's divisions. You can also see a mock-up on the wall over there in a picture of how the pan flow works. It's considered a continuous flow evaporator. It's not a single pan. All the channels really make it act like 12 different pans, and it just continuously flows, and as the density increases, the depth in the channel decreases, and so the back channel can keep pushing into the front channel and just keep flowing through. This year we also added an auto draw-off, which when it hits a certain temperature in that last channel, the valve will automatically open and syrup will go into our bucket, and it'll adjust its flow rate depending on that temperature to try to keep a good, even, constant flow of product through the system.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't your average.
Yeah, not your mom and pop shop.
Yeah, we split some today.
Yep.
And if you look at the steps,
Yeah, the steps are all maple.
the steps, the railing up here, if you look at the steps, there are tap holes in it.
Well, and if you think about it, we run on weekends and we're doing 11,000 gallons of sap a year. This evaporator, if it ran like a normal production operation, this would be a 100,000 gallon a year operation if you ran it more frequently. The thing to look at really in here is the sample bottle wall. So every day that we bottle, we need to pull a sample basically for each batch so that if there's ever a problem, we can go back and open the sample bottle and
That looks
validate.
like a problem right there.
Right? And so fortunately we've never had to, but the color is based on the sugar content, the bacteria load, the length of time. Obviously the bacteria is gone, dead, filtered out, cooked, etc. That's not adding color, but the bacteria pre-cooking it lowers the sugar content. So
Does it taste different?
it will. The darker it'll be more robust. Yep. And so I don't like this 2016 sample. It's like this. It's a sweet syrup. It doesn't have much for flavor.
So is this an 8-inch press?
7.5, yeah.
7.5.
So it's great for education because you can see how it works when it's working. There is one place we can get the filter papers for. So what we do with this is there's a paper filter that goes in between each plate, and then you put diatomaceous earth in it, and then you filter that all through, and it goes in looking, like a real dark,
pudding,
almost ash looking, like in there, and this filters everything out into that golden light color. So
that is amazing that works like that, and that it's crushed seashells. It's just when you think about it.
But it's not technically seashells. It's like it's prehistoric sea life.
So it could be.
It's not like taking clams and stuff like that.
Who figured that out?
Right? Yeah. Who figured out that if we mix this in, we can filter more out? Right?
Chris, if you, right there is the sap to syrup.
Oh, I haven't updated that. There's another board somewhere with the more updated stuff on it.
This was COVID year where we did We said we have to make syrup, so we did it on
did
a
it
flat pan.
The right one's right there, actually.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's still right, but that has.
So that's this year, 240. So last year was a little bit more.
Yep.
What? and
Yeah,
what do
last
you-
year was our top year.
Do you,
This
do
is
you
still
have a goal
fourth.
that you want to hit a higher number? Or you
As soon
just,
as we hit 200, I'm happy. That's
I wonder.
that's kind of that.
2020 was pretty lean.
So,
Well,
That was done on a turkey cooker so that we could still say we did it.
Yep.
So
are you ever going to try to maintain a certain level, try to hit 300, or is it like?
we'll see with the volunteer load, with the amount of
Right.
work, with you guys helping with Firewood, that has helped a ton. With the reverse osmosis now, that's
Yeah,
helped
you
a
got to
ton.
make it.
We still got to tap all the trees. We still got to do this.
Yeah.
This is maple taffy.
I'll have to eat one of those.
Sickly's up in Escanaba makes this for us. Yeah, we got 300 pounds made this year, and it will sell out midsummer.